Hey, Andreas, how are you?
Hello, Paul. I'm doing great.
Good.
Excited to talk about customer success.
Yes, customer success. What's the opposite of that? Customer failure, right? Um, nobody wants that. We're talking about retention as another key word, of course. I wanted to ask you a question about, as revenue growth team, our job, of course, is driving growth for companies, and that includes keeping your customers. Uh, people, in this state of mind or in this age, people are aware, hopefully, of the fractional concept, fractional marketing, fractional CMO, fractional CFO. Um, all of a sudden, there's somebody like you on our team is a fractional customer success officer. Like, where did that come from, right? Didn't know they existed actually until, but you know, for a growing company, what does a fractional customer success officer do? Like, what kind of things do you do, and to help a company grow?
Sure, when you look in particular at a startup, you have multiple hero cycles, right? The first hero cycle is the founders actually coming together and building some sort of an maybe ugly, maybe not so ugly MPV. And then the engineering team having a more solid product is the first hero cycle. Then the next one is the sales team of getting all these new customers. And so you have a lot of changes already, one after the other. And then customer success kicks in, actually taking the first steps, not trying to boil the ocean and solve world hunger at the same time as to implement a 360-degree full coverage customer success program, and take some of these key lessons. Take some of these customers that you now have through their journey, through the onboarding process, through the transition into full adoption of all the capabilities, nurturing their customers, whether they have issues or not, and of course also dealing with any type of issues, questions that are arising, so that by the end of the annual renewal cycle, that customer feels successful. And doing this, again, in a fashion and in a way that fits into that rapid growth of a successful startup, where you cannot just say, let's put everything on pause for a year and implement beautiful customer success and then be ready to get out into the market again.
I mean, that's important when we talk about our revenue growth team and why we have you on board, right? Because it's
Yeah.
still, you know, it you provide a skill set that's unique, especially when we're talking about a business plan of, it's okay. You can think about, okay, how are we going to generate customers, lead magnets, pay per click, whatever, and relationship building, and then how to close those deals. But at the end of the day, if they're not happy and your tool has issues sometimes, maybe you have new features. I mean, whatever it is, you got to keep evaluating this in order to make sure your customers are happy, especially when they say, I wish your tool can do this. And if enough people saying that, you've got to go back to development probably, right? I think that's probably
Yes,
part of it really is, the feature set.
the feature set is definitely one aspect. Having some consolidated source, you may hear a marketing saying, well, we're doing this, we're polling the customers, we're sending out surveys on existing or new features. A customer support team in a traditional sense may step up and have the same claim to fame. But these are all just very small examples that contribute to the entire customer experience. And having a dedicated function that takes responsibility after the sale and is consistently involved with the customer provides the consistency to the customer, also the cohesion in the communication, and having that structured approach in place instead of 3, 4, 5 different internal stakeholders reaching out to the customer with various degree of questions, and everyone is more confused and actually learning from the data that is coming back, because you're asking the same question in 5 different ways and measuring in 6 different ways.
Yeah, so you help clean that system up and make it focused and more data centric.
Definitely. It is all driven by data analytics so that we know what is working, what is not so good working, which of the processes need to be adopted, which of the processes need to be changed. And any type of learning that we have from customers, that we can feed that back in a continuous improvement type of fashion, and then experiment. If we change this, is it actually better or not? It's the same that you're doing from a marketing perspective. I send out 2 different campaigns and see which one is more effective. And so the same principles apply to customer success about taking care of your customer. When do I need to reach out personally? What can I automate? What do I need to measure, et cetera, and put that into practice and tie it to also, from the customer's perspective, into one throat to choke, your CSM, your customer success partner, instead of dealing with multiple different entities inside a company that are having good intentions, but don't have that full view of the customer throughout the entire life cycle.
Yeah, for sure. All right, thanks.
Welcome.